To be the best in class protein powder, you had to have been transparent, because I want to support companies that are showing up for all of us, that are proud for what's in their product. They had to have had low heavy metals across the board: lead, cadmium, arsenic, mercury. No pesticides, no herbicides, no insecticides. A quality company with good manufacturing practices. These are really important stipulations. We want to make sure that it's best across the board, not just in one category. So here are the best protein powders of 2024. All right, everyone, happy new year and welcome to the newest episode of Heal Thyself for 2024. Listen, we are celebrating and we're starting off with a bang. Let me tell you why. It has been probably a year and a half since I've done a proper review. And I'm talking about a review of protein powders. And actually more than that, 2 years. And let me tell you something. When we started off this show, so many of you went crazy for these reviews. And I told you, I promise you, in the new year, they're gonna be back. And guess what? They are back. Today we are reviewing plant-based protein powders. I'm ranking the ones that are not transparent and that you should probably stay away from, just like I did in the old days, with a little more integrity, right? A little softer around the edges. And I'm gonna tell you which ones are the best ones in class, the ones that you need to be purchasing, the ones that are out there working for you, that are just brands with integrity. That's the word. That's the word of the year for 2024. So I welcome you all. And of course, like always, thank you for coming back another year. And thank you for taking yourself and your attention right here and putting it on us and trusting us in this information that we're putting out to you, because it's really meaningful. And I know, again, the resource of time is such an important resource. So I don't overlook that. And I really try to bring a lot of valuable information to all of you. So we're starting the new year on fire with this protein powder review. Sit down, get comfortable. Ooh, we're about to get dramatic and sassy. Some of my favorite things. I'm putting on my hat and I'm ready to go. All right, listen, so it's the new year and I've grown a lot as a person since the last protein powder review. Done a lot of internal work, right? Soul searching. I got in there and I'm a better man, I'll tell you that much. And I lost a lot of parts of me that didn't serve me, right? And a lot of parts of me that didn't serve me as a podcaster to you guys, right? But I'll tell you what I didn't lose. I didn't lose my sassiness. I didn't lose that fire to bring in quality protein powders to all of you. I didn't lose that fire to hold companies accountable and throw them to the fire and really pressure them to do right by all of us. That's still there. And guess what? It's back. I had so much fun writing this episode. I had smiles on my face. I got up at one point and I walked around the kitchen, slapping my hands together and being like, oh, I can't wait for this one to drop. So get ready. Let's go over this. Now, before we do go into what protein powder is the best and the worst and all of that in between, I want you to get an idea about how the protein powder industry has blown up. Let me give you an overview. The consumption of plant-based protein powders is on the rise. It's been driven by a growing number of consumers, particularly young adults like all of you out there listening, who are actively seeking plant-based proteins in the diet. 40% of young adults are now choosing to incorporate plant-based protein powders, compared to the 25% who are preferring animal protein. So plant-based protein powders have exploded. And this trend is reflected in the increasing market share and value of plant-based protein powders out there. Now, for instance, I want you to understand this. The global vegan protein powder market was estimated at $344.3 million in 2022 and is expected to grow at a compound annual growth rate of 9.5% from last year to 2030. It's crazy. This is a booming industry. The popularity of plant-based protein powders is particularly due to all of you aligning better with eco-conscious consumerism, right? Doing better for the planet, doing better for animals. And we're drawn to products nowadays that have a better ecological footprint. And we're actually talking about topics like environmental sustainability. Now, pea protein has become the most significant segment in this whole market. It's valued at $99 million last year. People love pea protein. You guys love pea protein. Why? Well, it's digestible, doesn't really cause a lot of gut issues for many folks. It has low level of anti-nutrient factors and is favorable and actually cheap for companies, especially those with sensitive stomachs. I got a sensitive stomach. And who experience digestive issues with other proteins, right? I remember I used to take whey protein. It would destroy my stomach. Pea protein, I do fine with. The overall plant-based protein powder market, which includes not only just powders from other forms, grew for, check this out, this is going to drop your jaw, $14.7 billion in 2022 to $16.22 billion in 2023, and is expected to grow by $24.89 billion by 2027. It's a crazy market right now. And the growth, again, is around health conscious, wellness, eco, sustainability, animal welfare. So there's a consciousness that's shifting, and it's being reflected on our consumerism habits, right? So North America is leading the market for plant-based protein powders. So it's a very relevant show for all of you out there. So a lot of us out there are bringing more plant-based protein powders, plant-based protein diets. So it makes a lot of sense. But there's a concern about plant-based protein powder. It's got a dark side. Did you know this? A lot of the pea, rice, hemp, soy, they arise from plants, but a lot of these plants absorb metals from the soil from which they're grown. Heavy metals include substances like lead, arsenic, cadmium, and mercury, which can be harmful to your health, especially at excessive amounts. We know this already. I want to take a closer look before we get into the juicy parts about what heavy metals do to the body. Now, we know the plants are absorbing from the soil the heavy metals. It could be naturally occurring, or it can also be due to contamination from industrial activities. It could also be a byproduct of contamination from pesticides and fertilizers. For example, rice is known to absorb arsenic more readily than any other plants, right? So now we got our brains thinking, we're keeping up with this. Exposure to high levels of heavy metals can pose health risks. Lead can affect the nervous system, the brain development, the kidneys. Cadmium, we know, can lead to kidney damage, bone loss. Mercury can impair neurological development, and arsenic exposure. And arsenic exposure is linked to increased risk of cancer and heart disease. And I'm going to go into those a little bit more. Now, the concentration in protein powders is something important we need to think about. Some studies and tests, such as those conducted by the Clean Label Project, we know that one I spoke about on another show, have found that certain plant-based protein powders, they contain higher levels of heavy metals compared to animal-based protein powders. Something really important to start thinking about, considering how much plant-based protein versus animal-based protein powders has grown. And when it comes to the regulation and standards, in many countries, there are regulations and standards in place to limit the amount of heavy metals that we're being exposed to in food products. But these standards can vary from country to country, and enforcement may not always be strict. So we have to start thinking about it. And USDA Organic, remember, doesn't mean no heavy metals. We got to balance the risk and benefits. A lot of you are using plant-based protein to work out, or if you're pregnant, and we want to make sure that you're balancing, should I be taking plant-based protein? Should I be taking animal-based protein? How much or what quality plant-based protein powders are out there that are not going to expose me to high levels of heavy metals? So when it comes to organic versus non-organic farming, these practices are important to keep an eye on, but I want you to know that organic, USDA Organic, does not mean the absence of the contamination of heavy metals. Yeah, it can be the absence of contamination of heavy metals from pesticides and fertilizers, but it says nothing about anything about heavy metals that are naturally occurring in the soil. This is why we do this work. For you to know what products out there are contaminated, what products out there are not being transparent. This is why we do this work, for you to understand and for us to do the legwork that isn't readily out there so you can make informed decisions. Methylmercury, which is found in certain fish, can impair neurological development in fetuses, young children, affecting cognitive thinking, memory, attention, language, fine motor skills, all of that stuff. Just like lead, it can cause kidney damage, especially in adults. The neurological symptoms in adults that we see mimic that of mercury poisoning, which include sensory impairment, vision issues, hearing issues, speech issues, disturbed sensations, and that you're not able to feel necessarily. Your nerves aren't working in your hands and feet, and lack of coordination. What about arsenic? This is the one that's really high in rice protein powders, or if you eat a lot of rice in general. Long-term exposures and high levels of arsenic, often found in contaminated water, is associated with an increased risk of skin, lung, and bladder cancer. Often causes skin changes. Exposure to high levels of arsenic or over time arsenic can cause skin lesions and discoloration and cardiovascular disease. Chronic arsenic exposure is linked to heart disease, hypertension. Now, the last one, cadmium. is linked to bone damage. It can accumulate in the body and lead to bone demineralization, increasing risk of osteoporosis and fractures. It can also cause kidney damage, just like lead, and increased risk of cancer. Cadmium is classified as a human carcinogen and is associated with an increased risk of lung cancer. A lot of the chocolate proteins may be high in cadmium. So over the past few years, Athletic Greens has been one of our sponsors, but they got a little expensive on y'all. So I wanted to find a good quality green powder that's out there that tastes just as good, as high quality, as clean, and it's the Nuzest one, the Good Green Vitality. Now, you know I'm a believer in whole body wellness, and this is an all-in-one nutritional supplement that's been a significant find. It's crafted with an impressive blend of vitamins, minerals, superfoods, and a true symphony of nutrients designed to help support every aspect of your health. It bridges the gap between what we eat, what our bodies need, providing comprehensive nourishment. The convenience factor is unparalleled. Now, you know I'm a believer in whole body wellness, and this is an all-in-one nutritional supplement that's been a significant find here at Heal Thyself. It's crafted with an impressive blend of vitamins, minerals, and superfoods, and a true symphony of nutrients. Designed to support every aspect of your health, it bridges the gap between what you eat, what your bodies need, and providing comprehensive nourishment. The convenience factor is unparalleled. Now imagine replacing several bottles of supplements with just one scoop of Good Green Vitality. It simplifies your life without compromising nutrition. My own experience has been that I love it. It tastes good. It doesn't hurt my stomach. It supports me and my immune system, especially during the winter. It's a natural taste, and it's effortless to put into a smoothie or just take straight. Good Green Vitality isn't just a supplement. It's a commitment to your overall health, right? So to get your hands on my new favorite green powder out there, I want you to go to www.nuzest.com to get 20% off by using the code DRG. Enjoy. But before we go into the product review, let me just say something about USDA Organic, right? It's set by the USDA National Organic Program, and these standards cover a wide range of factors. It's related to food production, how it's handled, how it's processed. But to meet USDA Organic label standards, certain criteria need to be met. It needs to have the exclusion of all the prohibited substances. That means it's excluding synthetic substances, including the fertilizers, the pesticides that are causing so many issues out there, genetically engineering or GMOs, growth hormones. It's not irradiated, no sewer sludge in it, yeah, believe it or not. And they must be grown or processed without any of these substances, which is really important. That's the gold standard. It's not the best, but it's there. But again, I said it already a few times in this Knowledge Bomb segment. USDA Organic does not mean low heavy metals. It does not mean no heavy metals. It is independent of that. USDA Organic tells us the very things that I just mentioned. The quality of how it's handled, processed, grown in the context of sewer sludge, irradiation, pesticides, herbicides, insecticides. Really important. It's an important standard. And a lot of these protein powders in the product review are going to have USDA Organic, which is fantastic. I'm going to mention them. But remember, it mentions nothing about heavy metals. That means, and that's the reason why we reach out to these companies to ask to see their reporting for heavy metals. Because without that reporting, all we have is a company's word. And guess what? I got trust issues. So check this out. Let's go to this Knowledge Bomb segment and find out which protein powder companies, plant-based protein powder companies, were the best of the best and the worst of the worst. All right, product review time. I want to shout out my fantastic, high-level, best of the best interns, Taylor, Gabrielle, and Danae. These are my all-star interns who gathered all of this information for me to empower all of you. So take a little moment of recognition. I would never not recognize all that hard work. Thank you so much. You are my lovely superstar pit bulls. That's how I'm saying it. A little older, a little wiser I am this year, but we are coming with the fire. I want to talk about a few things before we start. There's something called a Proposition 65 label that is a necessary label here in California, that if companies register any adulterants, toxins, heavy metals, that they have to have that label. Now, look, over the years, it was one of the center points for these investigations. Is it under Proposition 65 or not? And at this point, I think Proposition 65 is a very high, almost unattainable standard for many products out there. So we've given these companies a little more leeway. And it's okay because, again, Proposition 65 will mark a company that has led the levels of what you might find in certain foods that you eat every single day. So it's a little unattainable. But still, many of these companies that were on the best of the best list made it under Proposition 65. So kudos to them. FDA regulation for heavy metals is a little bit different. It's a little more lenient. It's more lenient for sure. So it's something that we consider too. We wanted to make sure that it was at least between Proposition 65 and FDA. GMP certification tells us that these companies have quality manufacturing practices, right? It's a clean facility. They treat their people right. They are efficient. They are meeting a gold standard across the board that is important to make sure you're getting a clean product. And the last part, it was the gathering of certificates of analysis. These certificates of analysis that we asked for were to reflect microbes, making sure you have no yeast or fungus or bacteria in your protein powder. Pesticides or herbicides, of course, super important, especially when a company's not USDA organic. We want to make sure that the third-party test shows us that it's low. And of course, heavy metals, we want to make sure that these plant-based protein powders have low levels of lead, cadmium, mercury, and arsenic. So these are the criteria that we asked these companies to meet. And we gave them a lot of time, actually 3.5 months of time to reach back out to us. We contacted them multiple times. Put it this way. Since my first one to the last one, the first one, I wanted it now, let's get this going. Now we were very patient and we gave companies all of the opportunity to show up for all of you. So there's no apologies here. I won't be saying sorry to any companies. January is here, and can you believe it? How you doing with your New Year's resolutions? Mine was to just be more healthy, of course, generalize, right? Overall, better well-being. And we know that foundation of good well-being is a good night's sleep. I've been doing this for years, so many shows. So if I could just do one thing to improve my sleep and overall well-being, you heard me say this before, is to add magnesium. It is one of the easiest go-to products you can take. Now, the best one out there on the market is the one by Biooptimizers. It's the Magnesium Breakthrough. The 7 different forms of magnesium in this supplement are involved in over 300 enzymatic reactions in the body. Pretty much every function in your body gets upgraded when you're taking magnesium, but not just any. You got to get a quality one with all different forms, from your quality of sleep to your brain function to metabolism to stress levels. And let's face it, a lot of you are into health and your 2024 resolutions are around health. So if you really want to get a good night's sleep, support your stress levels, you got to get on magnesium. You got to get on a quality one. Do yourself a favor, make Magnesium Breakthrough part of your daily routine. You can get the vitality you need to conquer your dreams and get a good night's sleep. Go to biooptimizers.com/DRG now and enter the code DRG10 to get 10% off of any order and my favorite magnesium out in the game. So let's start with the companies that did not provide any certificates of analysis. Sun Warrior, they could not share their third-party testing, but gave us the name of who tests for them and says that heavy metals are low. And I love to believe them. I would. I love that they're USDA organic, and I would just love to see the results for myself, to be honest. I got to be the one that determines that because I can't just be taking companies' words. Promix, they didn't provide third-party testing, which was a bit of a surprise because under each protein powder on the website, there is a tab called Testing Data, and you can actually see the heavy metal reports, but it's not a third-party test. It's just results written on a website. Again, they look good on the website, but I need to see the third-party test. Right? I wish they were USDA organic. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, but show me the results. I got to see it to believe it at this point. Come on, we've been through this enough. I need to see the results. Okay, Ritual Protein, no COA given. It's not organic. They have good quality assurance as far as manufacturing practices. I love that they're B Corp, right? They meet all the high standards for social and environmental performance. Great. They're accountable. Great. That's what we see in B Corps. But my God, where is the data? It's like you ask for the documents that should be available to the public, and all these companies, they're all of a sudden turning into ghosts. I need to see the data. I need to see the third-party testing to make sure that this company is good. What about Garden of Life? Ooh, well, they were bought out by Nestle a few years ago. Is it a good protein powder? Well, look, for all intents and purposes, it looks like a good product, right? It's probably one of the most popular ones out there. You go to the store, you're going to see Garden of Life. It's USDA Organic. It's got great, beautiful branding. It's got nature on one of them, and then the sport one is silver and sleek. You're really drawn to it. And they really nail the plant-based protein powder market. They're OGs. They've been around for years. You know it. You've seen it, right? You go into the store, you reach for it. It's right at eye level because it's probably the store's best-selling protein powder. And you try it out, and you don't even think twice about heavy metals. But I'm here to tell you, it's the same story after year after year with Garden of Life. They send us this COA, and it's a bootleg certificate of analysis. It's from the website. And it looks like it was written by a kid on Take Your Child to Work Day. This ain't a third-party certificate of analysis. It's I don't know what the hell it is, to be honest. I do know that anything when it comes to heavy metals is not clear when it comes to Garden of Life. And I do know that most likely they keep that third-party report. I don't know anything about the heavy metals in Garden of Life because they keep that info in a safe next to the document about who built the pyramids. Like Garden of Life, you're old, you're not transparent. There are much better brands out there, period, and we're going to talk about it. So when it comes to 21 Nutrition, we unfortunately put them in a catch-22. Because if they didn't send the COA, they got on the avoid list. But if they sent the COA and it was shitty, they got on the avoid list. So I suspect that it was the latter situation because we got nothing from them. And that's a tough spot to be in. I get it. Shakeology. Ooh, I want to talk about this drama from 2019. Shakeology, that was all over. Man, I remember. Look, let me put it this way. 2019, I called out Shakeology for not being transparent, and it was a problem. It's my understanding, and I might be wrong at this point because it might have changed, but back then, Shakeology was multi-level marketing. So you got to see the amount of people who were selling Shakeology as part of their business exploded the comments on my, I think it was 1,000 to 2,000 comments on my post about putting Shakeology as one of the worst plant-based protein powders. Look, they weren't transparent. We asked them over and over years ago for all of their stuff. I remember the founders got on my comments and it was a mess. It was a mess, and in the best of ways. Not for me, for them. And now it's 2024, 5 years later. We've all grown, I hope, as people, as companies. So we reach out to Shakeology to see what's behind those closed doors. Give us the big reveal. Let's see what's going on. Maybe we are on better terms now. They said no. They said hell no. They're closed for clarity. It was impossible as getting a dog to pose for a family pic. We could not get nothing from Shakeology. It's the same story as it was a year ago. Shakeology, you are in the avoid list still, period. Vital proteins, no COA, the same story. We vigorously test our blah, blah, low heavy metals, blah, blah. These companies copy and paste the same legal script every single time. Vital proteins, you either share the COA or you don't. You didn't this time, you're on the list. Everyone out there wants to live a long, healthy life, right? And longevity isn't the be-all, end-all. What's more important is to consider the number of years you're healthy without a chronic or debilitating disease. That's called Healthspan. And right now, the average gap between lifespan and healthspan is 10 years. Now think about it. People tend to live their last decade burdened by disease and a poor quality of life. We don't want that to be us, right? But here's something easy you can do to increase your health span. You can take supplements, high quality, science-backed, rigorously tested supplements, not just any mamby-pamby, willy-nilly supplements. You want the top quality ones. Now, that's how I found Momentous Creatine and Collagen, two supplements that work synergistically to both repair and power your body. While collagen and creatine are some of the most studied supplements out there, it's evidence-based, it can be difficult to find a trustworthy product among all the BS and supplements in the industry that you get. Now, if you think about your body as a machine, it's got endless potential. Collagen and creatine are how you keep it running well. It's the well-oiled, smooth machine, and that's increasing your health span. It's what it's all about. It's about being able to be the best version of yourself for as long as you can be. So two products I take every day are creatine and collagen. I put that in my morning drink. Now, creatine isn't just for muscle, although it supports your muscle. And collagen isn't just for skin, although it supports your skin. It's got many other benefits out there. For example, creatine is utilized for your brain. Your brain loves creatine. So anytime I have anything that I'm doing that is going to take a lot of my focus, I double up on the creatine. Collagen supports the gut. So a lot of us are living with gut issues, inflamed in our gut without understanding that, yeah, our body, our tissues need collagen, not just our skin. So two of the most important powders I take in my smoothie are collagen and creatine from Momentous Nutrition. But what makes Momentous superior to other brands on the market? Momentous Collagen is clinically researched formula that delivers 15 grams of collagen in the support of type 1, 2, and 3 for the body. Not just one type of collagen, you want all three so your body's utilizing. Now, Momentous Creatine, meanwhile, uses creatine monohydrate. That's a gold standard. That's the one you see in studies. No fillers, no additives. Everything that you see on the label is what you get. Whatever your goal is, Momentous wants to help you achieve it. Their products are developed in collaboration with leading experts like my guy, Andrew Huberman, Andy Galpin, and used by 90% of the NFL teams out there in nearly 200 pro and college locker rooms. It's not just sport teams that rely on Momentous products. It's also U.S. military. Whatever your goal is, Momentous wants to help you achieve it. Their products are developed in collaboration with leading experts like Dr. Andrew Huberman and Andy Galpin, and it's used in 90% of the NFL locker rooms out there. The Momentous team works with research contracts exploring high-performance nutrition and cognition. And now it's available to you. Trust is really everything when it comes to supplements. My trust is in Momentous because of their unparalleled commitment to rigorous third-party testing, independent certification, ensuring what's on the label is what you're getting in your body. It's safe, it's clean, and it's evidence-based. Amazing stuff. The Momentous standard is the industry-leading standard in quality. So if you're like me and you want to take supplements that are made by and used by the best in the world, go to livemomentous.com and use the code DRG for 15% off of creatine and collagen and all their best-in-class products. That's livemomentous.com. Use the code DRG for 15% off. Moving on. KOS looks great on paper. Organic, GMP certified. We tried them. Nothing. Stonewalled. No transparency, ain't nothing. What does KOS even stand for? Listen, I got a new title for y'all. KOS, keep optimizing shamefulness. KOS, what else can it stand for? Keep out sincerity. I got the best one that I came up with. KOS, this is my personal favorite. KOS, keep off the shelves. You're on the avoid list, period. Ooh, I can't wait to go over this one. Flav City Protein, were they transparent? Come on, Bobby. Flav City Bobby. I see this guy online, and it looks like he's doing a lot of good for the world. I really mean it. It looks like he's empowering people out there, but this guy also contradicts himself. Also, what's good on a Wednesday is not good on a Thursday morning. And I know you've seen that before. But let's give the benefit of the doubt to Flav City Bobby. Bobby is big on quality, and I'm sure his protein powders are the best out there, right? But Bobby, my guy, why you ain't transparent when we want to see what's going on behind closed doors? When people want to look behind that closed door, it's the same old jargon we got from your company. We rigorously and continuously utilize a third-party lab testing ingredients, heavy metals, forever chemicals, blah, blah, blah. I mean, yo, Bobby, you're using the same legal jargon. Show us the COAs. I got trust issues, Bobby. You got to show me the goods so I can determine if it's all true. Multiple attempts my team tried. Over 2 months and nothing. Come on, Bobo. Your plant-based protein powders may be Bobby approved, but certainly they are not Doc G approved, period. This has to be the biggest surprise for me. These next few ones, which made the top list years ago, but now made the non-transparent list, is getting a little juicy. Planet Protein. My guys, you kidding me? They were a top protein powder in my last review because of how transparent they were. The quality was great. And maybe, but I don't know anymore. Why? Because after multiple attempts, you would not even respond to our inquiries. And I'm talking about giving them 2 months to respond. Here's the crazy thing. You go on the website and there's a clip of my 2020 video championing their product. But at this point, you got to take that video down, my guys, because you ain't transparent anymore. And until things change, Doc G's off that website. The same goes with veg. This one actually pains me because it's my friend's company. This is another one that made one of my top protein powders a few years ago. But come on, my guys at Veg. If my team is getting stonewalled for COAs and we're getting ghosted, I mean, like, Now companies are ghosting people. I don't understand. We've been asking, hey, following up, can we get the COA? What's going on? I'm disappointed in veg. And that was one of my favorite ones out there. But today, it's on the avoid list. Vivo Life, this is crazy too. Another one of my past favorite. On one of my first ever protein powder reviews, they were up there as one of the best ones. They said they would send us all of the testing, everything, nothing, nada. No follow-up, anything. What's with all these big vegan companies ghosting people when we're asking for transparency testing, right? We should have access to what we're consuming. And to be honest, I feel like a disappointed mother catching her children smoking in the alleyway of our apartment complex. I mean, come on, boys, you gotta do better. You heard me talk about Birch before, so you should know that Birch makes mattresses that are crafted with organic and natural materials that have been sustainably sourced. It's so important for your health to have a toxic-free mattress. See, the thing I love about Birch mattresses is that they're free from polyurethane foams. You may think of something like a Tempur-Pedic mattress, right? And it's soft, it's squishy, right? And it relieves all the pressure in your body. But the foam's in there. The polyurethane foam off-gases, affects your respiratory system, your hormones, your neurological system, your reproductive system over the life of the bed. This is why you need to stay away from polyurethane products. But it's not just polyurethane, it's all different types of chemicals that are being off-gassed for the life of the bed. So Birch makes mattresses that are crafted with organic and natural materials that have been sustainably sourced. I've had my Birch mattress for about 3 years now. It feels like I'm sleeping on a cloud. I'm not worried about off-gassing chemicals affecting my health. It doesn't have a chemically smell like you do when you open up the box. It's moldy and mildew resistant. It's a fantastic bed. My dad has one, my brother has one, my loved ones have one. I've recommended it to all of my friends. They have them. Birch is the best bed out there, period. And with your Birch mattress, you get a 100-night sleep trial along with a 25-year warranty. The best part about all this is that Birch delivers the mattress right to your door, free within the United States. They also offer in-home setup and removal to make your buying experience as convenient as possible. So check it out. Right now, Birch is having their New Year sale where you get 20% off of your purchase just for a limited time. Go to www.birchliving.com/healthyself to get 20% off of your order. Enjoy. Okay, deep breath. I'm gonna push out all of my dismay and get back to it. Amazing Grass, nothing. ATP Labs, nothing. Owen, nothing. Naked Protein, nothing. This is a problem. There shouldn't be this many no companies revealing the COAs, non-transparent companies. It should be transparent companies and just a few companies out there that are not transparent. And that's a problem. We need to switch this around, and it's up to all of you. You're voting with your money. I want you to support the companies that are coming on this top best in class because they're the most transparent ones. Before we get to the list, let's round out the least transparent ones. Vega, Sprouts Vegan, FYTA, I never heard of that one, but we were stonewalled. And before we get into the best in class, I want to mention Ancient Nutrition. They were transparent in giving us a third-party test, but when COAs come, they need to have the third-party company. I want to see a third-party signature. And unfortunately, I didn't see anything about an independent party on this COA. So they may be good. They actually may be great. And maybe next year we bump them up to the best in class category. But the COA they showed us was just the typical COA from Ancient Nutrition. We'll keep an eye on them. But let's get to the good stuff. Enough of this negativity. Let's get to the positive. Let's get to the light. Let's get to the best of the best out there. The best in class protein powders for you to consume. To be the best in class protein powder, you had to have been transparent, because I want to support companies that are showing up for all of us, that are proud for what's in their product. They had to have had low heavy metals across the board: lead, cadmium, arsenic, mercury. No pesticides, no herbicides, no insecticides. A quality company with good manufacturing practices. These are really important stipulations. We want to make sure that it's best across the board, not just in one category. So here are the best protein powders of 2024. NuFX, NuFYX. This is a new kid in class, right? It's new in the mix. They're super clean. USDA Organic, so no pesticides, insecticides, herbicides, low heavy metals on all of the flavors. They're fantastic. They're a great company, really friendly, and I love supporting brands like this. It's really important to support brands that are doing right by us. Nuzest is not new on the block. They've been fantastic for many years. They very kindly shared their third-party testing with my team. They consistently have low heavy metals, pesticides, one of the most friendly and transparent companies out there across the board, all flavors clean. We've worked with them and Heal Thyself for so many years for this reason. They're just a top quality company. Aura, super transparent company. They're USDA Organic, so we don't have to worry about pesticides, herbicides, insecticides. Another friendly and clean product-driven company. I've been a fan for many years. They share their third-party testing on their website. It's a class company, it really is. Another one of my favorite. Another fantastic protein out there that I haven't reviewed and a new one on the list is Organifi. USDA Organic, high quality assurance manufacturing practices, low levels of heavy metals. All the flavors across the board are clean. This is a quality protein that you can get. Trivandrum. This one made the list a few years ago, makes it again. This is Food Babe's company. I'm always confident in her products because she's as cuckoo of a stickler as I am on products. So shout out to Food Babe. This is under Proposition 65 for all heavy metals. Clean, USDA Organic. They are a transparent company. It's approved. So there you have it. Do you see how the list of approved one is much shorter than the non-transparent ones? Unfortunately, that's how it is. We're going to change it over the years. Check out the approved list. You may love it. Really quality products, low levels of heavy metals, high quality, USDA Organic or low pesticides, insecticides. I mean, if you have kids, this is what you want to give them. If you're working out and taking something every single day, this is what you want to take. Fantastic. Thank you so much for the quality companies. And thank you so much for the companies that stonewalled us because you gave us some good cut downs across all media. Listen, I'm bringing you out. Listen, I am back. I am back. I got the SAS hat. I got the fire hat. The New Yorker in me is coming out. We are coming with it. We're doing multiple product reviews out there. So companies, you're on alert now. Here we go, 2024.